Basically morning news, coming live from the same studios that were used in the 1980s to put children's faces on milk cartons.
I'm Sean Boston.
And I'm Chris Pavlik.
And I'm Patrick Thompson.
How are you guys doing, man? What you been up to?
I figured out a few things at the store, played some Minecraft.
I believe you're falling into the Minecraft trap.
No, I've loved Minecraft for years. I just haven't hooked my Xbox back up until I was forced to do so by said weasel.
Now we're gonna get Von Roy to get him into Fork Knife or whatever it is.
I will never play that stupid game.
Ooh,
that game.
Did we find a touchy subject?
You don't build shit in war. You have guns and bullets.
Wait a minute.
Building.
Have you ever been to war, like real war? Because they build a lot of shit during war.
Yeah, you ever heard of a combat engineer?
I'm just saying, you don't carry bricks and supplies to build walls and stairs when you're fucking on a battlefield. You do that freehand.
Yeah, I've heard stories of people building bridges under fire, but
there's a literal vehicle that builds a bridge. Like
I understand that. Right. But fuck Fortnite.
Fortnite is really, really, really silly. But
here at BMN, we do not support Fortnite.
Do we? I don't know. I support any business that finds a way to extract value from people and make them keep paying money. It's difficult to do.
They ain't getting my money.
Well, it's not for you, okay? That's why they have Call of Duty.
Now that's a game.
You mean the same game rehashed for 10 years?
Listen, it don't fucking matter.
It's all right. Activision and Bungie are now taking that very literally and have, in fact, been rehashing the same game, literally the same disc, same install file for like 5 years at a time now with the Destiny series.
Oh, the boy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Digital Extremes has been doing it for 8. Literally the same game, Warframe. 8, I think about 8 years. They've just been just expanding the same game. So I don't know. That's not to say it's so bad necessarily, but
we could literally have a whole hour based on game talk alone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, games. Everyone who's tuning in right now, would you like to go do something else? Because if that's what you'd like to do, we're going to talk about. No, we're not. We're not going to talk about video games for an hour. We've got some things to get to on the list in tonight's rundown. First on the docket is the story of a cat who was trapped in a tree for over a week, who was then rescued and given spaghetti. This is from the desk of Mr. Thompson. Would you care to take it away?
Yeah, of course this happened in Florida. The firefighters in Florida said it took more than an hour and 3 separate attempts to rescue a cat that was stranded in a high branch of a tree for a week. Once back on the ground, the firefighters gave the cat some water and spaghetti because that's what you fucking give cats.
We need a stinger that's just like it's like 2 seconds long and it just says only in Florida.
Now I would just like to know why it took a fucking week. Like
I don't know, maybe it could have. I don't know
where was this cat in the middle of the fucking jungle?
Look, in Florida, you don't call firefighters for the first 5 days of a major issue, fires included. Okay, right. If it's burning, let it burn 5 days minimum, then call the firefighters.
That's okay.
The cat was just scared. He was a scaredy cat. Knowing he had claws on his paws, he could climb right down the tree, but he waited a week and called the fire department. Classic.
It could have been like when I lived in Tennessee right before I moved. The firefighters were going to a pay to spray method. Basically, if you didn't have a credit card on file, they would not save your home.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, that's
a thing.
That is a thing.
Oh, that's originally.
Wow,
I do believe in this country. We did have private or even volunteer firefighter-based stuff in the beginning, but now I don't know.
It depends on the city you're in if the firefighters are paid or not.
I was just going to say, because we have the town that I'm currently living in Everything is volunteered, and there's like the officers are the only paid people. But then we have the city of Poughkeepsie, which is fully paid.
Well,
Well,
was
you know
that
what
the
I wanna
city
know?
of epilepsy?
No, it's
The
supposed to
city
be
of Polly Pocket?
supposed to be the Queen City, maybe at one time. Now it's as shitty as Newburgh.
I'm just wondering who gave that cat an iPhone.
Right. Because Funky did say the cat called the fire department after a week.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean,
first it's iPhones. Then what's next? The cats do not need to be more in technologically savvy, armed, or otherwise dangerous, because you know, if we could hear them speaking.
I mean, they can't. He couldn't even get out of a tree. I'm surprised he figured out how to dial 911.
Yeah.
Stupid cat. Cats are dumb.
Don't press your luck, bud. They're listening right now.
I don't care.
Oh,
And he too spits in the face of danger. Yes. A man too daring for his own good. If you don't show up for work, it'll either be your wife or the cats that got you.
I would have to say I'd bet on my wife compared to the cat.
sup,
Sup,
Funky
nerds?
biscuits.
Sup, nerds? Well, what's up, nerd?
Nerds.
Straight from the Wonka factory, these three idiots. Nerds.
Doppy and Dopey.
And don't forget Baldy.
Oh, all right. So you just inadvertently called the producer Dopey because, all right, that's cool.
Well, I mean,
Dippy,
No.
Doppy,
look, I said Baldy
Dopey, but
because
you
you
called
have no
me
hair.
bald. So
It's
now
because
he's
you have no hair.
right.
That's why.
I understand, but
No.
it's not a D. That's a B.
Well, we could stick with Larry Moe and Curly, but
That's already taken.
yeah,
And
well,
neither one of you have curly hair either.
I guess not. Well,
I mean, could easily change the ship.
You guys got fucking problems. You guys should see a doctor immediately.
we'll
Following
get on to
this
this
show.
right after we
Following
tell you
the show.
about why you need to buy a new DeSoto today. Next on the docket, a woman was arrested for refusing to wear a face mask at a Galveston bank. This is after, of course, they said we don't need to do masking anymore in Texas, and someone took that as a state mandate that private industry could not choose to ask people to wear face coverings. They absolutely can. So this serves as a
Please wear a
public
mask when you come
advisory.
into a bank.
Yes,
Please,
I
thank
mean,
you. We
just-
want you to cover your face, so if you rob us, you're free to go.
Oh, there's a video.
Stop it.
This is, I mean, it's just bad. Like we can't play the video in its entirety due to intellectual property reasons. But what I can tell you is that the entire time she was being handcuffed, she was being told, "Okay, look, seriously, just put the handcuffs on. Like this doesn't need to be a big deal." And she's, screaming, "Ow, you're hurting me!" But clearly, like you can see, it's very, very easy to see. And then, like she looks up and goes, "Seriously, no one's gonna get wild here. No one's gonna like. No one's trying to do nothing. Like
No one's gonna get fucking pumped over me getting arrested for being an idiot.
Like, no, nobody wants to go to jail for trying to break Karen out of handcuffs. Let's be real. That's the only thing worse than
No
going
one's
to jail for
punching a
being
cop today, Karen. It's 11 in
Go
the morning.
to jail, Karen.
It's 11 in the morning. The bank's just opened. Nobody's punching a cop.
That
today.
is one Karen down. You've just made the world a safer place by putting yourself behind bars where all Karens belong. Thank
Hey.
you.
I have a friend named Karen, and she's a nice lady.
This
She doesn't
message
deserve to
does
be
not
behind bars.
apply to real Karens that do not act as a Karen. Thank
I
you.
plead the fifth.
Hashtag mask LOL. Good job,
Well,
Kim Pavlik.
That's the important takeaway here is that if you live in an area that says we no longer are mandating masks, that does not mean you get to go and tell a private business what to do, right? A private business gets to choose how it wants to do business in accordance with state law, and state law
Wow.
does not say you cannot request the wearing of masks. So
I thought the law of the state was the law of the state, and that's what you had to abide by,
right,
regardless whether you're a person or a business, sir.
but the
Sorry.
law of the state doesn't say masks are illegal. It just says they're no longer necessary.
Yeah.
That's right.
A private business has every right.
God, I was trying to make a joke, and you jerks got to just go fucking technical. Did Silver enter the building? Jesus Christ!
Well, the thing to keep track of here is for folks out there that had issues in the past with people who chose to run their business in ways that were controversial, but still said they're a business, they get to do that. You have to hold your cards now, because that's just that bet coming home to roost, right?
Right.
If you believe that businesses should be able to practice their business within the confines of law the way they want, that still needs to apply here, unless you never believed it in the first place and you were literally just,
right,
shilling. But fact of the matter is, the world is changing. We do seem to be on the tail end of this thing after, as much as it seems to be, where the tenor of the conversation is changing from one of unknowns to one of eventualities. And that's something that I am quite a fan of. I think that's going to bring a lot of confidence back. But folks, if they tell you to put one on, just oblige them for a minute.
Put the fucking mask on, Karen.
I don't mean to say, or you'll end up like that, but
I do.
Or you'll
end up like that.
Just thrown in a holding cell because you decided to scream at people. The article actually said, and this is the part that was kind of nuts. It said she was arrested for resisting arrest. And I was like, wow.
So how'd she end up getting arrested if she resisted?
Well, you have to read the next three words.
I'm not going to believe what you're going to say, but God.
The next three words make it all make sense. The next three words were, and criminal trespassing.
Okay, there we go.
Getting arrested for resisting arrest is very Orwellian and silly. But yeah.
Really?
Orwellian?
God.
Let's keep.
Who's
keep
next
on
to pick on?
Well, I'm sure you'd love to talk about this guy because he's up your neck of the woods.
Oh, that fucking asshole.
Yes, sir. Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo is in some serious hot water right now. And if you were paying, if you're one of those guys that was kind of listening to back when this kind of started early on in the stuff, I was listening to some conservative talk radio, and they were talking about the things that are being talked about right now then. So it's like that was out. That was known. People turned their nose away and pretended it didn't happen and held him up on a pedestal. And then now everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, you know why they're talking about it now? Because somebody gave himself a $25,000 increase while everybody else is getting shit. He stopped paying his hush money. Now everybody speak.
So wait, he gave himself a raise?
You didn't see that? In the middle of the pandemic, he gave himself a $25,000 raise.
He probably thought,
why does he look like a more Italian Vince McMahon?
But we're $6 million in debt. Wow, that's an ugly guy. He should be arrested just for looking outside or walking outside.
Well, I mean,
it looks like he's about to tell Stone Cold he's got to lose the title match.
Listen, they've already started a petition to get him removed because he made a statement that said, "Oh, I'm not going to resign. The state needs me." Fuck we do, bitch. Get the fuck out.
that's the
and
thing.
Move out of the state, by the way, bitch. Ain't nobody even want you here.
I mean, telling people where they have to live is not the American way, but
I don't give a shit. Get the fuck out.
Well, here's the thing is he was propped up for a long time as an individual who was so basically we always have to have a war. There always has to be a fight, and in that fight there has to be two sides, and those two sides have to have leaders. And it was very much so early on painted in such a way that
it doesn't always have to be that way.
Well, it does.
We make it that way.
Yeah,
we choose to make it that way. We choose to make it that way.
We particularly, as we are now a member of in our own shitty way, the media, as members of the media, though not the mainstream.
Oh, really?
But they put him up on one side of the fight as like the good guy side. The Valkyries rushing in to heal and help the wounded.
When?
Against Ron DeSantis in Florida, right?
Oh, wow.
And Greg Abbott in Texas.
Fuck
And
that
that
guy.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know anyone that loves their governor right now. Let's be real.
It's true.
I don't like mine.
I mean, I don't like mine just because he's an asshole.
Well, yeah, mine's out of touch.
And he doesn't give two shits. I mean, he killed how many people by putting COVID patients in nursing homes on purpose?
He didn't do it. He just didn't.
Bullshit. He did it.
Okay,
bullshit.
He drove the car that dropped him off.
Well, I mean,
He drove the car that dropped him off.
I mean, he didn't physically do it, I guess, but he signed the paper, so that's his problem.
Right. He signed a piece of paper that came across his desk that was the wrong thing to have done.
He should have read this small print.
Right, but back in the day, like we're talking months and months ago, almost a year ago at this point.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back when all we could see ahead was bleak. Back then, the conservative talk radio stations were saying, "Look, this guy has thousands of people going to nursing homes that are infected, and he's literally just wiping out the old."
Right.
And I was like, "Wow, that's a great way to lower your Social Security budget." But fuck, I don't know. And
I mean,
that's how they're doing it. They're going to lower they're going to keep Social Security in line, but they're just going to do it by sending all the old infected people back to the nursing homes and just going to wipe them all out.
I mean, I don't know. He's got to go. He was good.
There's been a petition in my state to remove Newsom, and it's had enough people on that who have signed to have it reviewed by the state legislature, and it has for a long time. Like 3 weeks now.
Wow.
So
I thought you were going to say like a year or so, because I would be like, well, then somebody needs to start a petition to remove the legislator if it's still sitting there.
well, he's a member of a dynasty in the state of California. He's one of them, like, close knit circle of high powered California Democrats that actually, last I checked, had a blood lineage over to, like the speaker and that kind of stuff. And so there's definitely a sense of dynasty
That
in that.
explains much.
And he's
Probably a grandson or some shit.
I think it's nephew. I have to check. That's
Even worse.
Someone
that should be a conflict of interest.
It's not, and it can't be. Just because you're related to the Speaker of the House doesn't mean you can't be a good governor. They don't cross. Not necessarily. But honestly, the guy has been pretty
but
bad.
Never mind. I forgot the punchline, so I'll let it go.
This is not a recall. This is a total recall. We're going to terminate Gray Davis. That's an old Jib Jab video, I think. I think we're talking about it. All right. Well, we will be right back with more delightful titles and headlines from what happened in the past few days, right after a brief word from our first sponsor, Aggressive Babysitting.
Tired of not having a nanny to go out on those fun nights? Don't have anyone left in your circle that willingly wants to deal with your hellspawn or crotch goblins? Then do we have the perfect service for you? AggressiveBabysitting.com. That's right, AggressiveBabysitting.com. What's that mean? I'm glad you asked. It means we send one of our expertly trained in childcare ex-inmates from San Quentin straight to your home. I know what you're thinking. That can't be cheap, can it? Wrong. We're running a 15% off special for the first 300 families that sign up today. Remember, when your hellions burned all of your other bridges, there's AggressiveBabysitting.com. Tired of that?
That still makes me laugh.
Every single time.
Wrong.
Every single time.
That sounds expensive. I know what you're thinking. Wrong. Wrong. It's so cheap. It's the cheapest thing. All we do is they've been doing it in California for 35 years. Okay. California's been doing it for, I don't say they do things right often, but this is one of those things. Okay. They've been using prison labor as a way to give parents a break for 35 years. And I think it's time we took it national.
Did somebody order a wish.com, Donald Trump?
Yeah, they did. And that is our entire listener base. So there's that. They ordered it. They got it. They asked for it. They received it.
All right.
They love it.
Look at that.
All right. Well, in the world of modern technological innovation, we have a nifty one to share with you tonight. 3D printing of things has really ramped up over the past few years, printing everything from children's toys to miniatures for Dungeons and Dragons to functional parts for cars, mounting brackets, props, paperweights, gifts for people, and now they've gone straight to building homes. So let's take a look at a company out of Texas called 3 Strands.
3 Strands. Huh?
They're building the first community of 3D printed homes, and they boast a 30% lower cost, between 10 to 30% lower cost, because the second story has to be built normally, but the first story can be built with the 3D printer. But structurally, this is kind of like a test for them. Once they get this kind of test and proof of concept done and they get all the certifications, they'll be able to print the second story too, which will be even more savings in time and labor. And because the labor is so expensive by comparison, like per hour of labor, because of that 3D printing machine, it doesn't save a whole crap ton, but you have a couple of guys running the machine to build the first floor, right? And it's basically a special type of concrete that can be extruded from a CNC printer that is mounted over the build site, and it just builds the floor one strand at a time, and the strands kind of go cattywampus with each other and lock in, hence the name 3 Strands.
That's awesome.
Yeah, 3D printed homes, man.
I have been following things like this for quite some time, and I have quite a knowledge base on 3D printing, and I can say that this is definitely a good technology to help lower the cost of home ownership as well. I've not seen a concrete printer in action, but I've seen the videos, and
awesome.
I can say that they're great. And it looks just like they're putting out cookie fucking dough.
Yeah, they're just it's like the Play-Doh. Remember that funny Play-Doh stapler that you'd use to make like the hair for your little Play-Doh dudes or whatever? It's like one of those. It's a giant robo pooper, and it just
shit, we put the spaghetti end on. Son of a bitch.
Damn it, why is the house star-shaped? Johnson, what you go fix? Oh, what?
Perky Biscuits wants to know if it can print him a kitchen.
He's in some serious involuntary remodeling at the moment. So, yeah, I don't know if it can 3D print a kitchen. I don't think
but
so.
It can print your basement for you.
I do believe that is more in line with what they can do. Yes, but I think they're focused on building, like, how like you have communities that come up and they pre-sell the houses and you can kind of configure them. That's how they're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like a phase 1 housing development. There is usually 3 stages when it comes to housing developments. First stage is pre-sale to get about 5 to 10 families into the property. And then stage 2, the price goes up significantly to about $20,000 over what those people got discounted on while their houses were being built. And then stage 3 is full blown out. We can't afford this.
Or stage 4. You can just spend $5,000 for a piece of property, buy yourself an old school bus and make a house out of it.
I thought you were going to say stage 4, literally cancer.
I was going with tornadoes.
If it wasn't
category 4. Well, I'm excited to see how this goes.
I am too.
Houston in particular has a strange relationship with their housing and urban development kind of thing, where the restrictions on materials used for buildings is much less restrictive, and you end up with houses being built out of experimental materials or materials that are not necessarily as aesthetically pleasing right off the bat. Like there's a lot of corrugated metal houses.
Oh, you mean like those what shipping containers? That ugly looking crap stuff?
I mean,
But
I like them.
But let me tell you, I'd build a nice mansion out of one of those. You can get those shits cheap too.
Yeah, couple thousand.
I've seen around here for about 30 grand, you can get a house made out of 4 shipping containers, but it's beautiful and it's got a balcony and 2 stories. It is great. I've been thinking about that quite a lot.
I've been thinking about it for a long time.
Yeah, try and do that in LA. Try and do that in
not
New York
happening.
City, San Francisco.
It's all about aesthetic.
It's not just about aesthetic. It's about keeping the dynasties that control large building conglomerates in charge, right? If you can set a standard that's hard for other people to meet, and then petition the government to make it to where you can't, where no one else can do what you're doing, with intellectual property laws, with building codes, with all that kind of stuff. That's how a lot of companies, even companies in my own industry, will develop a technology that they'll then use their political action committees, if they're large enough, to get some sort of government law passed that makes it codified.
Right.
And then now you have to use their stuff because no one else can compete. And
but yet monopolies are illegal in New York. I mean, in the U.S.
Yeah, but they're not a monopoly. There's a difference between.
It's a monopoly on that product. You have to use their product to use it. That's a monopoly. I don't give a shit if it's a piece of land or not. Intellectual property means monopoly.
Right.
Sorry.
That's to kind of retort that. If they license it and have applied partners and things like that, where other people can sell and then compete with them on price with their own product. That's what changes the whole game. There's a lot of antitrust law is probably the least fun law out there.
It's a little bit. It kind of goes back a little bit. Why Flint, Michigan has water problems.
Really, that's an antitrust issue.
It's a monopoly issue.
Mm-hmm.
And that was why it was all plumbing union problems, and they used the piping that had lead that shouldn't have been used, but they did anyway.
Oh, damn!
To cut costs, to get more money on the back end.
Oh, so that means they were told don't use this, then they did it anyways because they wanted to take.
It was the late 80s, so they should have known.
Everything went in the 80s.
What's in the metal for these pipes? Why are they so expensive? Cocaine. Everything's cool in the 80s.
All right.
All right. Well, speaking of things that probably contain cocaine or drugs,
you guys.
Shut up. Don't tell them.
I don't know.
Don't give away my secrets, man.
You just told on yourself. Could have just kept on walking.
Yeah, well, I'm in a chair, so.
Then sit the fuck down.
I'm already. All right, moving on. Other things that may contain copious amounts of drugs. North Korea has claimed that they have the cure for AIDS and Ebola. According to Newsweek, and this comes courtesy of grunge.com. According to Newsweek in 2015, the country's official Korean Central News Agency reminded the world that their scientists had invented the Kumdang-2 vaccine in 1996. Phrasing. They also trumpeted it in 2006 and 2013, per The Guardian. It was a cure for Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, MERS, which was convenient since South Korea was in the midst of an outbreak that had killed 24 people. If only everyone in the South would defect to the North, they would be fine. But that's not all this amazing drug can do. It also treats...
Breathe. You didn't have to do it in all one sentence. Damn.
Diabetes, drug addiction, bird flu, AIDS, heart disease, impotence, the common cold, harm from use of computers, insomnia, epilepsy, cystitis, all forms of hepatitis, tuberculosis, various cancers, and venereal disease, as well as offering resistance to aging and anti-radioactive, plus SARS and Ebola. Because why not? So
tuberculosis aspirant.
Tuberculosis lease.
Is that how you used to get your Coke?
Well, I mean,
in your tuberculosises.
So here's the thing: is every time that there's a major disease outbreak in a portion of the world that North Korea is considered to be like opposite aligned to, they tend to develop or say that they've developed a cure as part of this vaccine, which has been around since '96. Different times throughout history, they go, "Oh, this thing we developed in '96 already fixes this." You know what I'm saying? And they just keep doing that. And what I'm waiting for is for them to say that it cures COVID. But they can't.
That'll be in the next round in 2024.
Well, it's been the same product. They've been putting it out for
This is
years.
what all those Hollywood celebrities were hooked on.
Well, North Korea offered clinical evidence saying the drug had been used on millions of patients. The secret of this medical marvel, it's made from ginseng that's been grown in fertilizer, hopefully not the human poop kind, mixed with rare earth elements, gold and platinum. And the outside world could even buy the prayer-answering drug from a North Korean website for about $25.
How do you like
$25
your ginger? We get it from our fertilizer from shitting out the toilet bowl.
They don't. They're not getting the fertilizer from the toilet bowl, dude.
If
They're
they have a composting toilet, yes, they do.
Yeah, but this is not Northern Oregon. This is Northern Korea.
Oh shit! Then they're just getting it from the backyard dump bucket.
Well, maybe they're probably getting it from their prison camps. But hey, let's be real.
Whoa, that was mean.
Whoa, man! Let's not talk about a foreign
Why do
nation.
you gotta get so mean? Shit.
Oh man, it's so mean. Well, I went and did a little digging, and I did find a website where you could buy the stuff. And it looks like you think it does. A bunch of glass vials with red and gold inlay, very regal and fancy looking. And
Did you order some?
no, why would I do that?
Well, I
Now-
figured you were going to be prepared just in case it cured COVID. You can jab yourself or whatever. How do you give it to yourself?
Nah, man, we don't need to go to North Korea for that. Like we've already got our oligarchies here that will give us drugs if we ask them and pay them money. It's just a lot more expensive.
Ain't that a bitch?
Hey, at least it's guaranteed to work, right?
Possibilities are endless.
But the box is quite pretty, and I think it would be kind of a silly showpiece. So if I come up on it, I will send you guys a picture. But next on the list, a bear chases a ski instructor down the slope at a Romanian resort. This comes to you from the desk of Mr. Thompson. Take it away.
A ski instructor at a Romanian resort captured video of a bear chasing him down a slope for several minutes before the animal fled into the woods. Officials said the person who filmed it was a ski instructor who was trying to draw the bear away from other skiers and back toward the woods. Did we not just run something about how to avoid bears?
Yeah, people forget the BEAR maneuver, man. You just go up and you give the bear a hug, and then it won't want to fight you anymore.
See, that video is just taken out of context. That bear was just skiing down the hill just like everybody else. Why has everybody got to throw a conniption? The guy was just skiing along.
It was Russia, not Breckenridge.
Well, it doesn't matter where it is.
It's not a grizzly bear. It was just Grizzly Adams skiing.
Rest in peace.
Well, we have a new segment coming up tonight that I think you guys will find quite entertaining. But first, and we'll get to that right after this, this is a short message that I want to give to you personally from our dear friends and overlords at Amazon. In a world with infinite noise and attempts to pull your attention this way and that, we here at BMN love an opportunity to plug in a headset, we too broke for Bluetooth, and disconnect from the barrage. Great for long or short drives, yard or housework, or even making sure your significant other's needs for your attention go unanswered. Audible Plus is the full-service offering from the people that bring you everything else you want from the internet. Amazon. Tune in to a great series of high-powered podcasts, audiobooks, and originals, including the audio-only version of our show, Basically Morning News. Check the description to start with a 30-day free trial and then continue after that, starting at less than $8 a month. Ignore your spouse with style and audible aplomb today.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Audio
Yes.
only of us, so you don't have to see any of these faces.
Yep.
And ignore your spouse with comfort and ease while you listen to our wonderful tones and our wonderful banter. Ignore your spouse. That's what we do for.
That's I'm gonna put that on a shirt. That's what we do for.
That's what we do for.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come again.
All right. Let's get into it. So the new segment that we're going to do for you tonight, we're calling the Gaff Factory.
I'm so stupidly proud of my stupid stinger. I actually enjoyed that music. It reminds me of 9 to 5.
So Patrick, I
Yes, sir.
I went in to get a vaccine the other day.
Oh, yeah?
They warned me it was in 2 shots, in your arm, and they give you the first one. You come back a couple weeks, get your second one, right?
Yeah.
And then you're a special case. You're not like other people. We got to get you through this quickly. So we're gonna do
that's
it.
great.
Yeah, it's fast though. It's fast. So they said we're gonna do it all at once, but it's 3 shots. Right?
Oh, okay.
Instead of in the arm, it's gonna be 2 in the chest and 1 in the head.
Oh, okay. All right. That explains so much.
Needless to say, I walked out.
Well, I bet people often wonder why I'm single. I seem like I have a great personality, ladies. Anyway, so I realized that my sense of humor may be a problem. When I was dating somebody for a grand total of 2 weeks, she called me and told me that she don't know what to do. She's worried. Her uncle is in the hospital on a ventilator. It wasn't COVID related. And my first thought that jumped to my mind to break the tension was to ask, have they tried unplugging them and plugging them back in?
Oh, Jesus.
It was met with 30 seconds of silence. And,
Click.
2 days later, back on the market, baby.
Well, that's a great way out if you got to have one. You know what? I'm just glad the stimulus check is coming in soon. It's been a long time since I've got a check from the government. Last time I got a check from the government, the memo said MK Ultra.
Roast tomato.
Stimulus checks.
What was?
It said throws tomato.
Oh,
Throws tomato.
oh man.
Going back to my dating life, that's where the most of the jokes emanate from in my life.
That's because they've all been disasters.
Exactly. It's like Katrina Part 8. Anyway,
Katrina Part 8.
But the worst thing is, when I was younger, I used to.
Producer Dan got the right idea.
God, I love the comments. I used to look at, a pretty face, a pretty body. And nowadays, what really turns me on and gets me going is when a woman's like, oh, yeah, I have a fully stocked 401k and my credit score is above 700. That's really what gets my blood pumping nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that getting old.
Patrick's looking to settle down with a cushy cush.
She's changing her name from Kitty to Karen. She's trading.
Oh, no, I would totally look. I'll be honest.
For a white
If a
price
woman
for
of the
the
right
Karen.
weight tape came up to me, and I would totally have the hyphenated last name. I don't care.
Gas sure has gotten expensive since Biden took office. When I go to the pump now, it's like the Weimar Republic in before World War II. When I start pumping, gas is $3.50 a gallon, and when I'm done, it's 1945, and we elected a fascist.
Ooh.
Get blind.
This has been the Gaff Factory. Oh, jeez.
The funniest part of that whole thing is Our whole fucking show's a gaff factory.
Well, that is the joke. The joke is
Indeed.
us.
Oh, I thought producer Dan was the joke. I didn't know it was us. Why didn't you fucking tell me? Shit.
Oh man, easy.
Oh
there, Hop.
man,
You got to keep them.
I should have wrote that down. I could have brought it to
We
the
need to-
gaff factory.
we
Son
need
of a
to bring in
bitch.
the reins a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad
Leave
we
my
got the-
fucking reindeer alone.
All right.
Okay, why don't you go run over Grandma here as we centralize in and we
Hell
start
no,
to.
she's going to get the beer.
Okay.
Can't run her over.
Well, we're gonna take on a more serious subject here now that we've gotten the giggles properly out of the way. We want to take the time to discuss something with you that's of importance in tonight's deep dive. Well, we're
And-
going to talk. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say,
I don't know.
and before anybody says anything, we have a prepared statement from our lawyers and producer. Hashtag BMN too white. So you can't use it. We already trademarked it. We know that we are all of Caucasian descentery, and so we're going to jump in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we wanted to take a moment to discuss. Minneapolis has decided to settle. Well, perhaps they didn't get to decide, but they're settling with George Floyd's family over a wrongful death lawsuit to the tune of $27 million.
Good.
Yeah,
It's great.
I mean, that's it's a wrongful death. You know, no matter how you look at it. The guy did not deserve to lose his life over an arrest.
Absolutely not.
I feel like the really the kind of cool part about this is like after having suffered for as long as they have, like this is a real opportunity to not just stabilize and heal, but to actually build something and do just impossibly great things with what you now have, right? It's an unprecedented thing it's not unprecedented. It's a really great opportunity. I did some research and kind of did some back of the napkin, not calculations, but some figures based on what it would take to become what people consider to be financially independent, and that value is the amount of money you have to have in investments where just what is made on the investments is enough to cover your ability to live the lifestyle you want to live.
Right.
Right.
Theoretically speaking, a generation or two down the road with this family, and they could have their family in Ivy League colleges and everything else and not have to worry about anything. Because they've made the right planning and done the right things to make that money really stretch and last. It's really the means to an end of a struggle.
And if you think about this way, right, the settlements for $27 million, the lawyers are probably going to try and get after about 7 of that, I'd imagine. You're left with $20 million. $20 million well invested could will return millions a year.
That's literally like standard franchising fees for certain things that I know of. You can get a steak and shake for $12,000 right now because they're running specials because nobody fucking wants them. Well, I mean, I take that back. People want them, but on the other end, they're trying to get more people into that achievable American dream.
Right.
You know,
trying to
$12,000
make it
sounds a
more
hell of a lot
affordable
tastier than
than 6
over
mil.
$2 million for
Right.
a McDonald's franchise.
And that's
$2 million.
just fucking
it's-
insane.
Back in the 80s, it was about 100,000 for a McDonald's franchise.
Mhm.
Wow.
That's just startup.
They actually did a whole, Netflix special on McDonald's.
Oh,
It's a
the
pretty-
movie? The
It's
one
a
called,
pretty
the
pretty
founder?
sad way that
Oh no,
McDonald's-
that's not a document. Well, that was
It's
a
a
biopic, and it's one of my favorite movies. And God bless Michael Keaton.
Yeah, no, I was talking about the real documentary thing they did about it.
It's
Supersize Me?
Nope, not that one. About about McDonald's itself, how it actually started.
Oh,
And it was pretty bad that it was a he was a milkshake machine salesman.
Yeah, Ray Kroc basically stole the McDonald's brothers' idea from under them by managing the land that their building sat on. That the franchisees were paying the McDonald's brothers for, but retrospect, they made more money. Ray Kroc basically stole their entire product and everything from under them.
But I mean, he really didn't steal it because they didn't want to continue going that way. But then he forced them to lose their only place they had by building one across the street.
Truth.
Yep.
That's fucking business is a dog-eat-dog world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
that's an important thing for anyone who's like new money is a hard lifestyle. If it's a windfall, right? That's the same thing that like befalls, NFL sports stars, people who make windfalls of money very quickly and are approached by anyone and everyone who wants a piece of that for a project they're working on or even literally just a con, right? Running a confidence game, right? So all those things being said, given the opportunity, like for example, the calculations I saw for, if you had about $4 million invested that's a decent start at actually being financially independent. If you owned your home and had $4,000 in investments, $4 million in investments.
Hell, it's less than 100,000 right now to get into an Ace Hardware. Everything fucking links back to Ace Hardware with me. I am Midwestern as fuck. I don't know why.
It's the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Yeah. Thanks for getting that jingle looped in my head.
Yep. Thanks for fucking that all up.
I mean, if you're that worried about it, we could talk about cars for kids instead.
Oh my God. Shut up about that.
877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
or O'Reilly or AutoZone. All of them.
O'Reilly.
Okay, you don't have to sing
sponsored
all
by
of them.
them.
You don't have to sing all of them, my guy.
Hey, you want to put these shits in my head? I'm giving it right back to you in tune so it can stick in your fucking head.
I don't care if it's me. I just don't want to advertise people that aren't paying us.
What he said.
Paying us. Paying us.
Paying us.
Sounds like you guys are talking with a penis in your mouth.
Ah, Jesus. Here we go.
It's not 9 yet.
No. It's 7:15.
It's 9:45.
Well, now they know where we live.
Fuck.
It's pretty obvious where I am. I mean, there's a big old sign that says what town I'm in.
Oh. I'm clearly
you can't see
in a WeWork in San Bruno. So
yeah, Steve's over there giving you the bad eye again.
Yeah, I know. He's always there, and it never gets dark. I'd like to take a brief moment here to move the show on through to speak with some of our good old people over at KWZL.
Oh, there's good people.
Hey there. I see I caught your attention with some eye candy. I know. If it was my face, you'd keep scrolling on by. I just wanted to let everyone know that when you're on your favorite app, Stereo, that you can find some great content put out by KWZL and our merry band of DJs, Taco Truck California, Patrick Please One, Dr. Gonzo, Yeah I Am Silver, Iris Nightfall, Von Roy, Foggy 420, Core, and Heavy Mahez. All you have to do is download the Stereo app, tap the magnifying glass, and type KWZL. It's that simple to find great programming on Stereo. And remember to browse on over to 889kwzl.online.
Ha! Sean lives in Funky Town.
Do I? Where's that coming from?
That is coming
comments.
from Aaron Wright in the comments.
Oh, okay. Well, I imagine.
I forgot. You can't see your computer screen.
Forgot. You need to stop putting my address on the internet, Aaron Wright.
Hashtag doxed.
All right, well, I wanted to take a moment to give a very special birthday shout out this evening to someone who's only been with us a year and has had a profound impact on our lives as a whole. Happy birthday, Rona.
Yeah. Fucking Rona.
Get fucked, stay fucked.
Yep.
All right, let's go on to who the fuck made this list.
Oh.
Oh boy.
So our list tonight is 5 staging
Really?
Five staging tips to sell your house fast, according to realtors. Would you like to take number 1, Pocky?
I sure would. Declutter, 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 remove and compact.
So this is the intent here. If you're going to stage your home, this is staging your home for people to walk through and perhaps either rent or buy if they're renting furnished or if they're buying from you. What you put in your home, how you put the things in your home is really important to perceived value, right? If it's empty, there's nothing in there, people can't see anything. It feels like you're in 3/4 of a home, right?
Yeah,
So
does.
step 1 is to declutter and remove things that are not necessary and compact things that are spread out.
Absolutely.
Number 2, remove all signs of pets because pets are adorable. The signs of them are not. Name a sign of a pet.
Cat box. Litter
Oh.
smell. Dog
That's
shit
my cat
on your
belongs
floor again.
outside.
Even scuffs and scratches, or even a collar. Even a collar says this home is damaged. So make sure that no sign of pets is there. Patrick, would you take number 3?
Remove all deceased bodies from the property and quickly hide them in the local river.
Yes. So we talked about signs of pets.
Does that mean the ones that are buried in the yard too, or can they stay?
I mean, do you trip over them like Hoffa in that field?
No, they're a little deeper.
Okay. Should be okay.
All right, good. Just checking.
Okay. Who's reading the bonus tonight? Can I read it, or you
Not
got
me.
Oh, I was going to read it, but
Okay, I'll take number 5 and I'll hand you the bonus. Number 4, Chris. What's number 4?
I was going to say, make sure to clean the blood off of the kill floor room.
Yes,
that's
so
very
if you
important.
Have to be privileged enough to have a killing floor in your home, if you have like a 30 by 30 meat freezer, like a walk-in built into your home.
I have a corner set up. Yeah, I got a drain in the floor. Everything goes in the floor, down the drain.
What?
squeegee.
Yep.
What's the comment there? I can't quite read it.
I can't either.
Well, I guess y'all saw that, right?
Yes. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, he's here. So if you're lucky enough to have a 30 by 30 walk-in freezer, you need to do the proper maintenance. Obviously, you need to keep things clean and clear of fluids of all kinds, whether they're from pigs or your recent homicidal rampage. People coming to view your home to buy it don't need to see that, right?
Exactly.
So just go ahead and make sure you keep that clean and free. No, because it's going to be their house. You want them to buy it. It's got to be presentable.
Yeah. It's like a bonus room.
Well,
just more bones.
I guess I got to remove the autopsy table.
That's part of the thing. Yeah.
Hashtag Foggy is not a licensed coroner. Please call the police.
How do you know I'm not licensed?
Well,
Defrost the previous tenant.
Yeah, pop in the microwave, 30 seconds aside, rotate. Just it's fine.
I got the crematory oven down the hall. I'll just
All right, number 5. Make sure to tidy up or completely pack away the meth lab. It's bizarre how shy potential buyers are of budding global enterprise.
how sad that is too. You have the world in the palm of your hand, and then you have to sell the trailer.
Your local meth dealer has just filed for bankruptcy. Sorry.
And the bonus tonight to Mr. Thompson.
Yeah.
What's the bonus?
Nice, earthy, and subtle floral scents are a good way to de-stress the environment of a sale and cover up the smell of your highly profitable illicit dealings. Some people hate the smell of girthy dump truck keister loads of cash and ammonia. Good aromacology will invite people in and give them calming feelings, commanding that peak selling price you've always dreamt of. Even if the market for subterranean Chez Gothique parking garages is a little misunderstood or dismal.
Well done. Well done.
Those
So
are
that is 5 ways to make sure that you get the peak sale price for your home.
And don't forget to do it.
Yep. That brings us towards the end of our program tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to take a brief moment to remind you to visit our website at bmnpod.com. We've got blogs up with the show notes for all the other episodes. Yep. If you'd like to see the sources that we use, but we like we said, you can check the sources if you like. It's more for laughs. Anyways, you can check our show notes there, videos, recounts. You can also find our entire back catalog on YouTube. This is the 10th recorded episode, but the 7th live stream. So we'll do something special for our 10th episode here coming up. Our 10th live stream. That'll be episode number 13.
We're gonna use that number. You guys aren't afraid of that number? Are you sure? You guys are from California and Texas. I mean,
look at Mr. Clean trying to make a freaking callback to skyscrapers that don't have a 13th floor.
I don't have a problem with that numbers, but you guys are in Texas and Sacramento. I mean, I hear that's a big thing in those places.
Hashtag atheist, don't give a fuck.
That's always nice.
You may find our content there. Please take a look. There's also a newsletter to sign up for. We're going to be doing some special programs through that newsletter and that newsletter only. So make sure if you're interested in hearing some behind the scenes stuff and getting involved in some more of the stuff that we are doing, that you go and you sign up for that newsletter. It's extremely important.
Sign up for the newsletter. Sign up for the newsletter today.
And it is the best way to keep in touch with us. It is the best way. There's other ways you can get us on Twitter, Instagram, but the best way is via newsletter and email.
There's too many other ways.
Yeah. And if you guys want us for a mall opening, just kidding.
I mean, we have so many ways to get in touch with us. We could literally roll credits. I'm dead serious. We could roll credits like the big boys.
But if you have any ideas, like for the show, or if you need us for anything you'd like to work out, if you'd like to have your business advertised or anything like that on our program, we're more than happy to do that for you. Reach out to us at boston@bmnpod.com. And our good friend here and co-host, Mr. Patrick Thompson, will handle all sorts of amazing voiceover work for you if you can reach out to him at pleaserecordthis.com.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
That's about all I've got for this evening. So until then, I'm Sean Boston.
I'm Patrick Thompson, and remember to keep an open heart and an open mind.
And I'm Chris Pavlik. Stay fucked, America.
Take us out, Dan.
You can be racist towards white people.
Yeah, whatever. Shut up. Watch me do a handstand while singing. I was a young boy. My father took me into the city to see.